Eu, profesor, multă muzică, chitară, Timișoara, România. Aceasta e marea de care mi-a fost dor. Mă întorc după mulți ani și e insula mea, Leso. Aici am preschimbat marea în muzică și e N. O aud mereu, oriunde aș fi.
I am so spoiled in this world, unbelievable. And because I am so spoiled, I also feel I have to do something extra for other people. I have done different things around the world for other people. I love this. I love this. It was a beautiful film.
Am compus The Beauty Is Not Dead, în care multe lucrări, pentru chitară solo, în care multe lucrări sunt pecetluite sub inspirația divină a acestei insule. Ceea ce mi-au dat locurile astea nu se poate exprima în cuvinte, poate cel mai mult în muzică.
The sea for me is like a frame around the island.
The island of Leso is sitting in the middle of the Kattegat Sea, just between Sweden and Denmark. It's a very, very flat island, and it's full of trees. And yeah, well, I like this island very much. I was born here 76 years ago. I'm also a geologist, and have spent a lot of time in exploring the geology of Leso, because it's very interesting that Leso as an island is elevating all the time from the sea. So the island grows all the time. and becomes bigger and bigger. Actually 20 hectares a year. And that's what you see out south here of the salt production, not here, that the salt meadows, which are very low and rich in salt, they grow all the time and get bigger and bigger, of course. And that was a good story to tell about to other geologists at least, and also to the tourists coming here to explain what this island is about. But the life here is changing all the time, because up to my time as a child, the main business was fishery, not as today, which they catch lobsters. In that time they caught flatfish and exported it to Norway and Sweden and Copenhagen and so on. Now it's all about lobsters. And agriculture was also a main business. Now there was 200 farms or so. Now there's only 3 farms running all the. We are far away from a lot of things, so we only have ourselves to find out how to do it. Læsø has a very special tradition of house building. Then there was a problem with the roofs, because the straw from the agriculture should be used for feeding cows and other cattle, and so they couldn't spare it for roofs. Then they found out, in fact the women found out, that they could make very good roofs of seaweed. I like the weather as it is. I'm a hunter also, so for duck hunting it's good with a lot of wind and rain. And yeah, but we have a lot of sunshine here also. Not as today, but we have the highest number of sunshine hours here in Denmark.
I have always been drawing and painting, but especially when I was 10 years old, I went into the painting, so I did it all my life. I was born here, and I was born in an old farm which is more than 200 years old, and seaweed on the roof and all that. And I always loved this island, but I have been living so many places in the world because of my work, you know. But then in '86, I bought this farm here. And then in '91, I think, I moved back to the island. So this is the fundament where I have my werksted and my gallery and the painting stuff and all this. And to live on this island, I just love it. And I always say, only the silence are making a noise here. It's so quiet. The sky is so blue and different. And where I live, there are no neighbors, nothing. I live just out in somewhere. And for me, that's heaven on earth, I must say. Very much, very much. Yeah. And I grow a lot of flowers here and there, and I love to see it blooming, and I make vegetables, and it's so gorgeous. It's really so gorgeous. So that's why I'm here in Læsø. And my children are also, my younger son lives here, and all his children, and my brother lived here, and we have been here on and off all the way through, you know. But I feel at home here, really. And because I have been so much around the world, so many interesting people. They are just coming up here. So instead of I'm moving now, they are coming here. I have never been to a place to learn lots of things, never. But I work very much like, for example, if some people from Italy, they want some paintings, I will ask them, what kind of music you like? Could you send me your music, what you like? And then just write down what colors you go for. And then I played this music for a long time, and then certainly the paintings are coming up. Very much I work like that. And that's why my things are very different. Because I have not learned you have to go left or you have to go right and all this. But I like so much to try this. You could put a little bit of this in and maybe this is good. And it's like making a music for a person who have ordered it. When you have the fundament from when you were very young, you can just play with it and it will bloom and it will be more. And don't be afraid to do something which maybe is not common or whatsoever. That's the way it is. When I look at an island like here, it's much different from living in the mainland.
And I tell you, you have to look at these. They are so beautiful, these lobsters. I went to the harbor this morning to buy them, and they are the biggest and the freshest I ever saw. They are just...
And I hope you make the meal.
Yes, I do.
Because you know my hands is not in a good shape.
No, I'll do that.
And did you also bring some wine?
I did.
Then
Don't you think I know you?
And yourself?
Yeah, that's the same.
It looks so gorgeous, Helen.
We're going to have a
And it is
nice
a bit,
meal.
You know, it's a bit of a dark day, and people will say, "Oh, it's raining today," and what and what.
That's fine.
And now we are ending up here in flowers and lobsters and lesser lobsters and wine, and it's perfect. It's beautiful. Every day have to be a party.
It has, and you can.
And it is.
It is. Yeah, that's great.
What do you have for the salad?
Greens.
I can see you have lots of lemon.
No, I have green salad and I've got fresh green asparagus and tomatoes.
That's
and
nice, that's nice.
From some wonderful...
But this is a very good time of the year because we have everything.
Yeah, and I took some of your carrots from the garden.
Yeah.
Wasn't that clever too?
But also you can buy on the street, you know, all the vegetables, and they are so clean and good, you know.
Yeah, it's wonderful actually.
And you just leave the money there, and
and
it's
that's
a very good way.
Yeah.
And it's so good that people are not stealing the money or anything.
No, they just nicely.
Here is so much
Yeah.
peace in that case.
Yeah, that's.
So
That is.
we are very lucky to have
we
this.
are so. And these, yeah,
We are very spoiled in that case.
we are, but it's.
Also, we are spoiled with the air. We are spoiled with the.
Yeah.
Did you know we have the biggest lobster company here on the island?
Oh yes, yeah.
And they
I've heard
are
so.
the
but-
best in Europe,
Yeah.
after all.
And you know what?
No?
The most crazy thing when I was living in Zimbabwe,
Yeah?
there was a very good fish.
Could you get fish there?
Yeah, we could both get herrings like the one we liked,
Yeah? Yeah?
and then we also all of a sudden one day I came out there, they had lobsters from Læsø. That was
that's
too crazy.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Jeg glæder mig så meget til de der skide hummer her.
Yeah, that's. But
Good
now
week.
you also have to have a look. They are gorgeous, I tell you. They are
How do you
really
feel,
the
no?
freshest and finest, biggest ones that you
Wow.
have ever seen. What do
My
you
God.
think? Check how big they are.
It's so good.
See, and there's some of them that have,
Ja, med
Rogn,
rogn, ikke?
yes,
Ja, ja,
yeah.
ja, 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 ja.
and it's
And I know they have fighted very hard for the sea to be able still to
to be allowed to fish them.
fish the lobsters. Yeah.
But isn't it that they found out also that since they are so small, the boats here, that they won't be so hard to
Yeah, it's just to
yeah.
survive.
Yeah,
But I know the mayor of this island, he has done a tremendous work
Yeah.
to talk to the government and
yeah.
all these people.
yeah.
And
Because it will be
because of him, they still can.
it will be
But
disaster
it will
for
be
Læsø
a
if-
catastrophe because we have this
Yeah, that's true.
factory for
Yeah,
lobsters,
yeah.
and the lobsters we get here on the island is the best in Europe.
Yeah,
And the export is very good to Italy and Spain and all these places.
Yeah, yeah,
And there are many people employed there.
yeah, sure.
And it's so
that's-
important.
It is.
I
you
mean,
can't,
they cannot stop everything.
No, and again, of course, it's fine to say that you can't have very, what do we call it, very aggressive trawls that go very deep and destroy the bottom. But those smaller boats, they have
But that's
the
the
easy
big
ones.
boats.
So to,
yeah.
So, but that's,
Okay, we will have some of this
Yeah.
lovely stuff as long as we
Yeah,
can.
we
you
can,
know.
yes, that's.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
you just moved back here, and
Yeah.
thank you very much because it's so nice to have you back here on the island.
It is
And
nice
you
to
were,
hear.
after all,
yes.
born here.
Yeah, I was long time ago.
Yeah. But not as long time ago as me, you know.
You always be proud about being older than me.
Yeah.
So you always have to decide.
It's not depends on your age. It depends on how you handle it.
Yeah, but that's true.
And
It's,
you do that.
yeah.
And your family is from here and all this.
Yeah. That's, and I tell you also, it's so nice when you come into Brugsen, the shop, and you meet somebody there and say, we've heard you've moved back here.
Yeah.
How nice and welcome back.
Yeah.
Oh God,
That's a good
That
thing.
is really very nice. Yeah.
I
So that's-
remember many times when I traveled and I came back to take the Læsø ferry back, and then the workers on the ferry, they said, where have you been now? And it's so good to see you back and all this.
But it's,
And that makes it so special to live on an island.
it does really, because
And
in a
you know,
city,
an
nobody
island
will,
is where you have a frame around it.
Yes, that's true.
And we have to be good and accept each other.
Yeah.
Because we have,
Yeah,
we have no other choice.
No. And even if you, so to say, disagree with somebody, you can't, so to say, be totally rude or anything, because you know you will meet that
Yeah,
person
and it-
one of the next days. So you.
But also, this island have so many things which is so high quality.
Oh yeah.
Există un iz care nu se poate exprima în cuvinte. Cred că cel mai bine în muzică. Are un iz insula asta, are ceva care îți arată niște locuri și lucruri spectaculoase, chiar divine.
That's the way it is. That is the life. And don't rush, because hopefully you have enough time.
It started with my father importing Icelandic horses, and that's in the 70s. And then he started here in the 80s and started with the riding tours. And that was just in the summertime in the beginning. But then he moved here in 86, and I was born in 86 too. And then it became more of a all year round, but we stopped riding out in October, and then we start in April usually, because that's when it's best to ride out here. It will get very wet in the winter time and harder to be in this area. There are courses where I have instruction and also tours at the same time, and then there are day trips, but we pretty much only do riding holidays. So that means that you eat at the farm, sleep at the farm, and ride out during the day. And then we find somewhere in the open and eat our lunch. There'll be a car out and with the lunch, and then we can sit and relax and have a cup of coffee afterwards before we get the horses and ride back home. And it's usually around 4 hours of riding during the day. I think so. That's probably one of the best things about a job like this is that, you know, people are working hard every day, and when they finally get a vacation, we can make them smile and relax. That's it's a gift to be able to do that. I like the changes, and I like that it's not always certain what we're going to do this week, because when you have a lot of animals and And also the tourism, you never know what is being booked for the next week. Maybe there'll be some other stuff we have to do during the week. It's good for the brain, I think, to not just be doing the exact same every day. 120 right now. Yeah. When you are with the horses as much as we are working at the farm, it's kind of like when you know other people. So it's not, we don't really recognize them on the color or stuff like that. We can see it in the eye or in the tail or in the ear. We can just look over a horse and then we know, oh, it's that one on the other side. You get to know them in other ways. It's more like the temper and the gaits, how they are walking and stuff like that. So the name is the easy part. But it's hard to find the perfect job for anyone, yeah. But when you find it, then you know it. Oh, it's my job.
I married in '63 a person, and he was one of the first pipe makers in Denmark. And but he became sick, and he stayed in hospital. He was one of the first they operated in the heart in Denmark, and he lived a few years, but stayed the last 2 years in hospital. And then after he passed away, there was a værksted, a working place with some drilling machines and like this. And when you have so much illness into your life, you have to do something, not to feel too much sorry for yourself, you know. So I played with the drilling machine, but what I could, but I never were in the værksted with my husband. I think he would have. It was not for girls, to put it that way. So when he was in hospital, and after that, when he was no longer, he passed away in '67, I played around a little bit with pipes, but not to be a pipe maker. It has never been in my brain. But I made a few pipes, maybe 8 or 12, and I cannot even remember what they looked like. But I took all kinds of colors and stuff to put together because I didn't know about pipes, how to make pipes. So I started up like this just for fun. And then a lady, she called me one day and said, "Anne, I want to say goodbye to you. I'm going to USA, America, on a trip with a charter trip." And I said, could you just take some pipes for me? And she said, no. But then she said, it's one ticket left, and it's a charter. And you can have that one ticket. And then I called the lady. I said, okay, I will go with you to America. That was the beginning of the pipes. And then we went to New York, and I said we should be there only one night. And when we came to the hotel, I was thinking, I take the phone book and I see pipes. Yeah, here, Pipe and Pounds, 42nd Street, Madison Avenue, just by feelings. I called them. I said, yeah, hello, I'm from Denmark and I'm a pipe maker. And the person who answered the phone said, no, we never heard about you. And think we have all the pipe makers from Denmark in our shop. And I said, really, have you never heard about me? No, they have not. But we will invite you to the shop, and I went there. And that was the very beginning. He paid about 3,500. He paid 500 euro for each pipe. My God, that was unique. Some people from the television have seen the pipe, and they wanted me to enjoy the program where there were 3 girls, and then some famous people have to guess whom of these 3 girls could make the pipes. I waited to do the program, and that was the beginning of the whole show. But I couldn't make a pipe. So I said to myself, Anne, you put ice in your stomach and you act like you are so good, you know. But I was not, because I hardly knew what I was doing. And then we went to make this program, and it was named To Guess My Line. And there were those famous people, 4 of them, who have to guess who did the pipes and all this. And nobody, they looked at me and they couldn't think that it was me. So I was winning all the money. And then the New York Times have also been into that shop and have seen the pipes. And Judy Clemenswood, she has called the shop, oh, you must get hold on Anne because I want to make an interview with her, and she's not going back without we have made this. And that was the beginning of the whole show. And then when we entered Denmark here, then in the airport in Copenhagen, you do not believe it. Because in Denmark they have heard about this pipe maker and the girl and with a little son and all this. So when we came into the airport, there were so many journalists, so you don't believe it. So I said to myself, and now you started it, you have to be very good, because otherwise it will just be stupid. So you do like you are good, and then you work like mad. So, and then in my brain, I said to myself, and okay, if you have to make pipes, you go for being one of the best in the world for pipe making. And then I was also telling myself, and maybe one day you could have a museum. But I didn't believe in it at all. It was just something I said to keep myself up, because inside myself, after my husband passed away, I was not so lucky. But I said, okay, past is past, and you have to take care of the future. You have a son, and don't concentrate about crying for yourself. Okay. I don't make so many pipes as normal pipe makers, because I work more like sculptures, and each thing I am doing takes much, much longer than just making pipes, you know. And I said to myself, the world needs some colors, and I'm very colorful in my pipes as well, and in my paintings, because if you can make something which gives some power and some happiness to people in colors also, not just the smoking, but also the feelings, I think that's very important. The world needs it. And that's what I try to do.
E ceea ce mi-am dorit dintotdeauna, poate în cel mai infinit vis, să mă întorc pe Leso. să o reîntâlnești pe Anne Iulia e ca și cum îți reîntâlnești personajul principal din cea mai îndrăgită carte, știi? E această personalitatea ei, felul ei de a fi, de a vorbi, de a-ți transmite, de a-ți da lecții de viață, de ce nu? De a te trage la răspundere, pentru că e stilul ei așa de îndrumătoare de destine, știi? Adică așa o percep. E prietena aia adevărată care, chiar dacă nu vorbești cu ea 5 ani de zile, o regăsești tot timpul sub aceeași aură.
A good life is not what you could have or can have. A good life is when you make the life you are giving beautiful.
I'd hate the wind. I have to say I hate really the wind because it's annoying. Yeah, everything is flying around, and the ferry. Sometimes when the wind is too hard, the ferry is laying still, and then the phone is ringing, and can't you get the ferry sailing? And all that. I hate it. And people are sick when they travel with it. And if you have to go somewhere with the family or playing football with the kids in the mainland and it's too much wind, we can't go, and that's very annoying. Yeah, so I hate the wind. I love the sea. I love the sea. I don't think there is one day in my life I'm not around to see the sea. I don't think. I live in the middle of the island, but maybe some days. But I love to go around the harbor, just looking and listening. And that's the sea is a thing we use much on the island. We go bathing. We are going around the sea and sailing out, fishing, everything. We use the sea. Go kite surfing and windsurfing and all that. That's what we can here. In 5 minutes you are at the sea. Yeah. Why don't use it? That's what the island can. It can make people different. We can find the solutions because we have to. We can't just find another people. We can't just find another friend. We are who we are. We used to say we got woods, we got land, we got wind in the summer. We got everything over here, and that's what's good to be here, I think. And in the summer we are 30,000-40,000 people over here, yeah. And in the winter 4,500, and actually only 1,800 people registered on this island, yeah. But 4,500 every day, 12,000 in the fourth season, and 30,000 in the season in the summer, and then down again. So a lot of people every time, but not that many Læsøboer, som det hedder, island living people. I feel good every day. Sometimes I have to I'm thinking now I have to go to the mainland to get some culture from other places. But when I have been there in some few days or one day, I just need to go home again. And I think the island for me is the place where I have to be all the time and get experience from the mainland. And because it's something special with this, and 7 o'clock in the evening you can't go anywhere.
The power of the sea is so strong. Let the life live, because the life take care of all of us. For me, life is very easy, because when I move to another place, I'm there. And I just enjoy that. And I don't think about missing or feeling all this, you know. Then I'm there. And if I'm in somewhere else in the world, then I'm there. And I like so much to study the people, the way they cook, the way they live and all this. So I'm never missing anything. I live where I am at that time. Every morning when I can wake up, and I think, Anne, you are so lucky that you still can do that. And in this is a very funny farm, this one, because it's so far away from everything. The last 15 years, I have been traveling 4, 5, 6 times a year to China. We have made this museum. My pipes have been doing very well in Japan and China for years and years and years. And I came often to Beijing, Mr. Yang. He's the biggest collector of your pipes. And then Mr. Yang said to me, Anne, I have now studied you for many years, and I have studied your life, and I love your work, and I think you should have I don't know what you call it in English, if you are no longer here physically, but your life must not be forgotten. Even if you are dropping dead here, then you must have been able to grow flowers in your footprints. And that means, even if you are physically dead, you must have made something in your life so it will still bloom even you are not here. And I can only say, with this museum and all my paintings there and everything, that is to grow flowers in your footprint. You can easily quit, but your life and what you have been doing will go on. That's very important. It's very important to talk to yourself. I do that every morning. And then I say, Anne, is this important? No. Is this important? No. Is that your business? No. Should you be involved in that? No. Don't take responsibility for things you don't have responsibility for. And then you end up to have what you can cope with. And what you have left, you make the most beautiful things out of. And then life is perfect. And I know the world is different and all this, but when you read the books through the history, the world has always been hard here and there, and even much more than now. But we didn't hear so much about it, and we were not connected to all this. I think happiness is a question of how you look at life, really. But of course, many people, they look also different because they maybe have had a harder life, or they have another mentality. And that's why I think the colors and the stuff I'm making is very colorful. And those people are coming here because they need something to be happy themselves. And but I mean, just not to be sick and to be able to wake up every morning and this, I think all this is happiness all the time. Don't be afraid to open yourself up so you can receive what people are telling you. Because if you close yourself, it's like a closed door, and you cannot walk through a closed door. So if you will have some enjoyments from the life, you must open up yourself. And then it will come. And then you can give, and then it will go from one to the other. That's so important. The smile is the closest way between two people. Don't forget that. I think I received a lot of love. About what I did myself, I have no big fantasy about that. But I received so much love from all over the world, I must say. So perhaps I give something back, I don't know. But you have to ask other people about that. Yeah, so it is. I also want to welcome you to come back, and we are very proud that you made music for Lasse and for me, and we are very much looking forward to hear what you can. That's important.
Yes.
Yes.
The best I can.
Yes. Only do the best. Yes, and I hope we will have a nice evening. So it's a pleasure for us to have you here tonight. And then you have to say something.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah.
For me to be here again after more than 12 years, even that I was here in 2003, first time, with George Constantin Hacek, the violin player, which unfortunately he's not with us anymore, but he's there and he's watching us. I'm sure about that. And because you are here and because of you, I want to create in this evening a magical sound music, because I compose this music in several times and get all the ideas and emotions here from the Ireland. I will play for you, for Leso, and for my dear lands from Romania, because I mixed it together.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And now you can start.
Thank you, Anne.
And give it power, yeah? I had so good times in Romania. And I love your music, and I've been to weddings there, and we dance, and it has been so delicious, I must say. So you have a big, Romanian have a big place in my heart. Really, really, yeah.
Când mi-e greu, când obosesc, gândul meu se întoarce pe Leso. Sunt precum marea, mă apropii și mă îndepărtez. Mulțumesc, Anne. Leso e muzica mea.